before I go into this, and then I'm gonna go into this here. And while she's sharing, I want us to understand something. Many of us, as a kid, we wanted to be a hero. Most of us wanted to be heroes. Some probably wanted to be villains, I guess. But whatever the person wanted to be, I don't know if you remember, some people wanted to be Superman, some people wanted to be Batman. And when children play, their imaginations, it takes them to a different place. Their imagination takes them to a different place. When you were a child or when you wanted to be a superhero, you actually became a superhero. You don't worry about if you can't fly or run fast or leap over walls and stuff, but you was a superhero in your own eyes. And this is where people don't see it. This is what they don't see. They don't see that their imagination plays a very important role in their crystal ball. It plays an important role in their crystal ball, in their relationship with God. The imagination plays a very important role. If your imagination is tainted by Satan, you could be controlled to the point where you are mentally blocked, or your mental is always running, always worrying, always showing you things. You can be seeing things at night. You can be seeing things in your dreams. You can be just driving and just walking, thinking you're seeing something, thinking that you're seeing something. And what people don't understand is that if you don't really know what the reality is for a saint, if you don't know what the reality for a child of God, your imagination, it is open season. Your imagination is open. If you don't understand what I'm about to show you, this is where it will heal some, it will deliver some, and it will educate you spiritually and elevate you. We're going to go ahead and start right now. Right here is the reality. We're going to go we're going to go here to verse 10. Now, verse 10, John verse 10. This is I'm sorry. This is John chapter 10. John chapter 10, verse 22. And it says, it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication, and it was wintertime. And Jesus walked in the temple and south porch. Then came the Jews around about him and said unto him, how long dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be the Christ, tell us plainly. Now, I want you to understand that these people that is coming to Jesus, talking to him, they actually are leaders. These are actual leaders who supposed to that they supposed to be to the place in God where they recognize Jesus like the disciples did. They supposed to be to the place in God where they recognize Jesus, which means God revealed Jesus to them. Why couldn't God reveal Jesus to them, but to the disciples? Well, if you notice one thing about the Jews, and many of these things you have read, many of these things that you have seen, many things that you have talked about, and you have seen where that. Let me pull that up just a little bit. Many of these things you have taught, and see, what I want you to understand is that that Satan, his power is to bring you into your imagination. He is to bring you into where you think you're thinking something and you're not. You think you're seeing something that you're not. You think you're a part of something that you're not. And the Jews actually really believe that they're a part of God. They really think they're a part of God. But listen to what they say to Christ. They says, how long does thou make us doubt? If thou be the Christ, tell us plainly. They're so caught up in their imagination of who they are. I'm gonna say it again. They are caught up in their imagination of who they are, not what they are, who they are, because they really believe that they are. They, right now, as we're listening, or as we're reading this, they actually believe that they are the people of God. They don't believe that they believe they are people of God. They see in Christ and they're trying to understand him. They're trying to understand where it's come from. You know why they're doing that? Let me tell you why they are doing that. It's because I'm telling you this, they are in self. Self, listen to this. Are you listening? I'm finna reveal something to you. Are you listening? Are you listening? Let's do this here. Let me tell you something. Yourself lives in its imagination. Yourself lives and walk in self imagination. When you see people, and if you notice, when I look at social media, it can be, it'd be a lot of people in Christians, be all types of people talking about all types of things. But somehow you have to be careful because many of these people are living in their imagination, what they want to be. Anything that is not of listen, anything that is not in God, because it tells you that Satan wants to exalt the self in the imagination. He wants to exalt the self into the imagination of what self could be or what self is. And you can be sitting back thinking about how good you look. You could be sitting back thinking about what you need to do. All you doing is dwelling in imagination. So a lot of these people are talking about prophecy in this world. They're talking about what's going to come, what this president should go, this president should be in there. This is the chosen one. And these people, if you listen to them, and I'm not gonna really zero in there because I would have to really bring them up so I can kind of like give that understanding of what I'm talking about. Because I want you to understand that many people live in their imagination. They live, walk. I'm talking about Christians now. This you gotta understand. You gotta understand how deep this is. The Jews right here is talking to Christ, and I'm gonna show you how they are in their imagination. Their imagination is that Jesus is not the Christ. How could he be? How could he be the Christ? Who is this man? How can I be saved? Or what is you talking about? How can we go back into our mom's womb? They're living in the imagination of self. Self hinders you. It uses your imagination. I'm telling you, it hinders you. That's the reason why doubt it would create a picture in your mind, in your soul, and that's your imagination. Now, I want you to listen to this here. Let's go to the next one because I'm supposed to be on here 15 minutes. I think 15 or 30 minutes. I think. But anyway, I'm gonna do this part and we're gonna close. In verse 25, listen to this here. Let me blow this up here. Let's blow this one up. It says here in verse 25, John 10, Jesus answered them, I told you, ye believe it not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. Listen to what Jesus is saying. He said, my works bear witness to who he is. Everything that Jesus does is bearing witness of who he is. And he says, I do in my Father's name. He said, listen to this. He said in verse 26, he says, but ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep. As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. Now, can I ask y'all something in this verse here? I want you to look at this verse real good. Can you see anything that Jesus said wrong? Can you see anything that Jesus has said wrong versus what you see in this world with church, state, country, nation, all types of people? Can you put all of that together of what you know, and can you see something wrong in what Jesus is saying? Because what I want you to understand is that though we might have a mind, though we might make mistakes, though we might do this or do that or look in the flesh or whatever, but I want you to see something here, because what Jesus is revealing, he's revealing the reality. He's revealing the reality. You remember now, they said, tell us plainly. He's revealing the reality that he is the Christ. He's revealing the reality that the works are reality of God. They bear witness. He's talking about reality. What is the Jews talking about? Are they talking about reality? That's the reason why you got some people really think the corner world is reality. They really think that the corner world that they live in, when you're thinking about yourself, you really thinking it's reality. When you feel sorry for yourself, you really think that's reality. And you don't even realize that's no reality. There's no reality. What you have came into this world, and you were born through a woman. You were born through a woman. You came out of a womb. And when you came out of the womb and you begin to talk, you actually really think that's reality. You think that what you was doing as a child, everything you was doing was reality. That's not reality. That's only an imagination that creates a reality of self. The imagination creates a reality of self or for self. That's not reality. Reality, if you understand reality can't die. Reality can't doubt. Reality can't be negative. But you gotta understand, when you live in the world, you think, somebody's lying, that's reality, because they got, they're lying, or somebody telling the truth in the world, that's reality, but it's not reality. It's because those lies and those truth does not secure their person. It does not secure their person. What I mean by secure, it does not secure them from the enemy. It does not secure. Only thing can secure you from the enemy is reality. And that reality is in Christ. And when you have God, that reality is in you. Listen to this here. I want you to listen to this because I really want you, because I'm going to stay right here and then and I'm going to close right here. In verse 25, it said, Jesus answered them, I told you, and ye believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. That's reality. They believe not. That's not reality. But you know what people would say? If they was around the Jews and they said that, they still say, well, um, they have some type of reality or they have some type of good about them, but they don't realize that's not reality. It doesn't matter if they have good. The reality, and I'm going to show you something. I want to show you this. In verse 26 reveals the hidden mystery. It says in verse 26, it says, but ye not, he said, but ye believe not. Listen to this. He said, you believe not. What is he saying? You do not believe the reality. You do not believe the reality. I'm here. You don't believe that reality that God sent me here. You don't believe the reality that I came to die. I came to resurrect. You don't believe the reality that I am the Messiah. So whatever. So you got to understand, when people don't believe the reality, they think because what they believe is reality. Do you understand? The Jews really think what they believe is reality. They think they telling him, come on, are you gonna? What they're saying, are you not going to reveal to us the reality? Which means, are you going to tell us the truth? And listen to what Jesus says. He says in verse 26, he says, but ye believe not because ye are not of my sheep. How would you feel if Jesus telling you that? How would you feel if Jesus was telling you that? And the only way, you got to understand, Jesus' sheep are reality. See, we read this, but we got a lot of clause in it because we have listened to so many preachers and so many people, and we have came up reading, and we have actually we don't even realize that what we was doing is been taught from the tree of good and evil. We've been taught from don't you know that the doctrine when the Bible talks about doctrines of demons, don't you know that doctrine is the tree of good and evil? That's what that Bible is. That Bible of Satan is the tree of good and evil. Good and evil. Because he can make evil look good. He can make evil look so good it looks like reality. So this is what, listen to this. This is what people don't believe in the church. I mean this. You know why I mean it? Because it says it right here. This is what Jesus said. He said, because you are not my sheep. Some people that you see out here doing these crazy things because they came in a church and they doing it and they own this whatever lifestyle, whatever they got going on in their mind in their countries. I'm telling you this is going to tell the truth right here. Listen to what I'm saying. Jesus not worried about who with him, who's not. Listen, because he knows. Listen, see, we fight with people, or we argue with people, or we try to, get people to understand us, but we don't understand that Jesus not trying to do that. See, that's why it was a man. I'm not going to mention his name, and I was shocked for him to say that Jesus is a type of person who loves confrontation. No, he don't. Jesus not, he don't love confrontation. How, if he got peace, no one who has peace in their heart and soul love confrontation. This is what Jesus is trying to get them to understand is actually you are to really just leave me alone. Why? You said, what are you saying? Listen to this right here. He says, you believe, he's telling them, but you believe not because you're not of my sheep. Do you understand? It's like somebody's trying to be on your team and you keep telling them, You trying to bring it down? No, you're not on my team. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're not on my team. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm trying my best to tell you not on my team. They say, well, why? You know why? Why? And you tell me, so you don't believe everything I believe. You don't follow this. You don't. You're not on my team. You know. I mean, I'm sorry. If you had a heart, you had a heart. If you had a heart that was open, like the disciples, when they came to Jesus, what do sheep does? The sheep follows the shepherd. Do you see? You know, the sheep follows the shepherd. See, in verse 26, listen to this. It says, but ye believe not, because, listen, he's telling them, he's telling them, listen to this. He's telling them that the reason why they don't believe. Listen, Jesus is telling them why they don't believe. Listen, he's talking to leaders. He ain't talking to no. He ain't right now. Now he does talk. Yeah, he have talked to the crowd, the people, but he actually having a conversation to the leaders. He's telling them. He says, but ye believe not, because you are not of. He said, you are not of my sheep. And he said, listen. He said, and I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice, and they and listen to this. And he says, and I know them, and they know me. When Jesus picked the disciples, he told them, he says, listen to this. It was Andrew and John that followed Jesus from being, you know, they was with John the Baptist. So John and Andrew, they just followed Jesus. Now, when people look at that, they would say, well, they followed Jesus. Now, Jesus said later on, he said, y'all gonna choose me. Did you hear what I'm listen, let me put this down. This ain't no game. This ain't real out here. Listen, I'm telling you this. The ways of Christ is more real than the air you breathe. What God is doing, you have to be dying to self in your mind, in your heart, in your flesh. You have to be dying to self to be able to understand really what's going on. Because why you have to be doing that when the disciples didn't have to do that? Well, this is the thing. That when Jesus called the disciples, when he called the disciples and they followed him. Now listen to this here. Jesus said that you didn't choose me. I chose you. Listen to that. And if you go back and read, you can see where they start following him. But later on, Jesus told them, he says, you didn't choose me. So when you sit back and you think about it, you say, well, he didn't come up. He didn't say nothing to Andrew. He did not say nothing to John the Baptist that he wanted Andrew and he wanted John. He didn't say anything like that. They are the first two that followed him. And then they went and got Peter, and then went and got Nathaniel. But listen to this. Listen to what I'm saying, the mystery. Listen to me. Listen to the mystery. Ask God to show you what I'm talking about. Jesus said to them, I have chosen you. And Jesus revealed something very, very deep. When Nathaniel came to Jesus, Jesus says to him, you're a Jew, and there's no guilt in you. And Nathanael said, how you know me? He said, before Philip called you under the tree, I saw you. Now, this heavy. If we don't serve a God like that, if we don't believe a God like that, I'm telling you, your flesh in the way. If you can't, if you're not living, if you're not sitting back, I don't care what you watching, I don't care what you doing, I don't care what you eat. If you're not sitting back, if you're not living in that reality, if you're not living in that reality with Christ, you could be in the reality of yourself and listen to this. There's a false gospel that is in the air. There's false works of God that is not of God. There's false people that is not of God. They're not of God. And I'm gonna say this because I'm like I said, I'm gonna get ready to close right here. Let me close. Jesus says, he says, my sheep, they hear my voice, and I know them, and they know me. Now, we might want to believe in superstition, believe in luck, believe that somebody just going to stumble in right on Christ. We should live our life like, we're just stumbling, we just stumble in. We stumble in our faith. We miss, we hit and miss and stuff like that. And when we don't even know how serious this is, if Jesus says his sheep hear his voice, you need to make sure you that person that hears his voice. If Jesus say, I know them and they follow me, you have to make sure that you're following him. Because I'm telling you this, Jesus is not, he's not looking for somebody on the outside of what he already knows. So that means that, if they're not learning what Christ say, they're not understanding how serious Christ is about his work and about his deeds and about Christ and about God, about the things that he's doing. But we get to the place, well, we're not serious. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna listen to this. This is what Jesus is saying to those who are not serious. He's saying that my Father bear witness of me. But he said, but ye believe not, because you're not of my sheep. As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them. Listen to what he's saying. A lot of people want God to know them, just like some people, they want celebrities, to know them, and they tell people, and it don't be true. Listen, people really don't understand. If you say you know them, you got to understand something. It's very serious. When he said they hear my voice, it's something that God is telling you. He's not telling you something that you want to hear all the time. If Jesus is, if you hear his voice today, he's telling you something that is against your flesh. He's telling you something that is against your imagination. He's telling you something that is against your desires. Because of the things that you're desiring, the things that where your imagination is, God knows you need to be purified to the understanding. It's like this. Why would God want you? Why would God want you to? Why would God want to why would God want to make something or leave something unholy and give it to something holy, or put it in a place of holy when it's unholy? Listen, we're going to stop right there. This has been powerful. We'll take up part 2 tomorrow. I'm going to try to come on a little early. We'll do part 2 tomorrow. Listen, bless you all. God bless you. And I want to say this. I want to just thank those who God is using and God is changing your life. And God is, through this ministry, through the power of God, through death to self, you are practicing dying to self. And I know that I'm telling you, that is a great, I'm telling you, you don't want to leave here and you're not doing it. God knows. Listen, I want to also, this is your first time, please um, go ahead and subscribe. Check out the videos. If you want to know more about me, you can check out the videos. You can also my Facebook. But I wanted to tell you that most of my work I try to do on YouTube. God is so powerful. God is so powerful. This is I'm telling you, this is not the year, but this is the time for the children of God. They will be led by the Spirit in this hour. Listen, God is going to draw those who are hungry for the Spirit. And they don't have to be hungry. They don't have to act like they're hungry. It's going to happen. This is right here. This is prophecy right here. Jesus said, my sheep hear my voice. Jesus was at a time that he was getting ready to die and resurrect. So what he's telling these Jews, he's not worried about them. He letting them know that by prophecy, my sheep hear my voice and they know, and I know them and they follow me, which means they are going to come to pass. They are going to hunger for the shepherd, which is Jesus. And God is going to lead them to the instrument or the shepherd that he has here. He's going to lead them and he's going to get them ready. And I'm telling you, it's only one way to get ready. It's only way to get prepared. It's to die to self. It's to die to self. Listen, God bless you. And those who, I just want you to know, those who follow the ministry, I know God is leading you when you support this ministry with your prayers, your love, and your contribution in many ways in one. I just wanted to tell you that God bless you. And I know God is blessing you. If you believe in that you're doing it and God is leading you, I know God is blessing you powerfully, powerfully. Listen, I see you, Lord will, I see you tomorrow. God bless you.